a long time. Let me go ahead and move. So, topic number 2, my good people, is Kane Kanan's son? That's something that a lot of people have been speculating on because they're saying, oh, he he doesn't look like Lorenzo, which is true. He doesn't look like the big. And this he's dark skinned, which so is Diana. So that's one defense against that. It the fact that Lorenzo wanted Drew to run the organization instead of Kane. Now you can make an argument it's because he just thought Drew was better fit for it, but some were, speculating that the reason is because he knew that Kane wasn't his son. And then, of course, he had him beat up in prison and stuff like that. And let me ask y'all something. Let's say Drew was the one who ended up, brushing Monet off the way Kane did. Do you think Lorenzo still have Drew beat up in the prison cell like he did Kane? Or is that just something he would have did to Kane? Ask the pappy. That ain't no damn Lorenzo Jr. Lorenzo being Poppy was terrible casting. He didn't fit in the show at all. I mean, I thought he was all right. I thought it was all right. I mean, did I think it was great casting? But I think it was all right. I understand where Michael Lee is coming from because support timed me out also for no reason. Which is, and guess what? And this is the thing, though, DeMarcus. When he did that to you, what did I do? I checked the situation, told him not to do it again. And then the same way with Michael, I told him with Michael, don't time him out. Let him have his freedom to say what he wants to say, regardless if it's something that other people may not want to hear. I want to have folks to have the liberty to say what they want as long as they're keeping it respectful. That's always been my thing on this channel. But when you start to be disrespectful, you're gonna get a warning. Once I tell you, yo, chill that out, and I give you that first. Actually, I give you a warning first, and then after you don't stop, I give you a timeout. And then after your timeout, if you come back and do it again, then your ass get banned. So I mean, pretty much you asking for it at that time. Like DeMarcus, you never called nobody out their name, calling them pussies or bitches and stuff like that. Directly doing that. That's different. I ain't going front. For some reason, I was saying that before, but then again, I don't think so because Kane and them would have been known who Tariq is. Not really. I mean, shit. Who to say that Kanan wasn't just a deadbeat? Drew did get beat up too after Zeke's death. You know what? He did have some niggas beat his ass to try to get that heat off himself. He did do that shit. I mean, I don't think they would have known him though if he, let's say if Kanan was just never came around. Because keep in mind, what if if Monet is trying to keep that a secret, then they never would have known. It all depends on if Kanan is the type to be like, no, I'm not gonna abandon my seed. But I don't think he's that type, me personally. I think that nigga don't give a fuck. Also, I'm gonna say this too. A couple of other stuff that was hinted, you know what I'm saying? Look at what Monet was doing with Detective Ramirez. Kind of seemed like to me, I mean, we get it that Lorenzo was in jail, But it just kind of seemed like Monet may have been a little promiscuous, and also the same with remember when Rico in the season finale, the same episode she ended up killing him, how he was talking to her, he was like, um, I got me some sweet New York pussy waiting for me. Cause by the looks of it, it don't look like you gonna give me some. He was kind of talking as if him and Monet smashed before, but he's like, "You mad at me right now, so you ain't gonna give me none." So it kind of looked like Monet may have been a little out there. You feel me? So who's to say that Kanan didn't end up messing around with her, smacking her a few times, and then getting her pregnant? You said it was just bad casting. Lorenzo favored Jew and knew he was gay because Lorenzo was giving up the cheats in prison. Hey, why did I not too long ago slick think something like that? I'm like, bro, hold up. Um, Maybe that's the reason why, what I'm saying, Drew inherited it, but Kane didn't. Because that's his son and the other one ain't. What year y'all think Power Origins will stop in the series? I think it's probably gonna stop like 2005. That's my year. I'm gonna say the year Kanan goes to jail. Maybe and maybe a little after that, possibly like 2007 or some shit. But I think it's gonna stop a little bit after Kanan goes to jail. Possibly, it's weird because you know how it was written, how Ghost and Tommy said, well, Ghost was telling Tommy during the series that they only been working for Lobos for 6 months, in season one. You might get that and then see they might change that, like the year that they actually meet Lobos. I'm pretty sure I would say if they make it that far, they're gonna change that that year because I just think it'll be easier for them to introduce it to the storyline. So they might actually have Lobos meeting them 2007 ish, maybe 2010 or something like that. And then say, instead of saying they've been working for them for 6 months, maybe 6 years. I hope they add Monet to Origins and add that storyline about hooking up with Kanan before meeting Lorenzo. That'd be dope if they did. It answered a lot of those questions. Lorenzo was drew to run the show to push an agenda. What do you mean about the agenda? What agenda is he trying to push? Hey, Kitty. Hey, that is funny. That is funny. And they both did own somebody else. He said it runs in the family. At first I thought Kanan's son was Dre. After that dinner scene, Lorenzo asked her who the father, like that wasn't the first time. That's why she left and out. Yeah, that's another thing, Ali. That's a good catch. That's definitely a good catch because I was thinking about that too. Okay, when he was asking, and the father, it do seem like damn. So this bitch did more than just that. Because look, The way it kind of came off is if he, because you remember in season 4 when he was asking how is our little hurricane, it kind of seemed like even then, he knew that that wasn't his son, but he accepted it. Maybe because of some kind of circumstance or whatever the hell it was that happened. But it just kind of seemed like it to me. And then of course at that dinner table, like you said, he it seemed like so it wasn't just, the Kanan situation. So you did this with this Mecca nigga too before you even met me. So Monet just full of secrets. I think Lorenzo knew about Ramirez to keep them off the carburetor. Yeah, that he did, but still, oh nay, oh nay out there wilding. I could see, Rock mentoring Monet. They have the same way. Yep. Monet told Lorenzo Drew was not like Kane, and Diana speaks volume. And again, here's another thing. Remember once Lorenzo had Kane beat up and Monet found out about it, she was like, "You're not around him no more," and stuff like that. To I know how he is now. He's mine. Don't do that shit again. It just kind of, and then when Poppy got out and he was doing his missions and stuff, he was taking Drew with him and not Kane. Like some of that stuff that they were doing, you could have did that with Kane. And then as a father, think about it like this. You should have known him being the oldest son and you constantly rubbing it in. He wasn't trying to hide it at all. Rubbing it in that he's favoring Drew over him. Like that Kane was gonna get jealous and that was gonna start something. He should have kind of known that. You feel me? Like we get it that Drew might be smarter and better at it, but he could have had a different way of going about with that. He could have sat him down like, look, everybody played different positions. Kane, you're good at being the muscle guy, the enforcer, making sure the family is protected. Drew, he got the brains and stuff like that to be able to run the operation and make sure everybody eat. And he didn't try to do that shit at all. He just said, man, fuck that shit. Drew is in charge, nigga. Yeah, I could say around 2006 or 2007, but this Easter egg hunt I know was back in season 2 or whatever it was a record up for Tommy where his case is back in 2008 or something around that. Not sure what you mean with that last part. I don't understand crashing out over a time. If they chill out the first time, it'll be no issue. Okay. Rico didn't smash Monet. Why y'all crazy about that? Hey, I didn't say that he's mad, but the way he was saying it, bro, it just seemed like he could have. I told y'all he had been running Lorenzo the whole time and using him taking secrets to the grave. She been running, okay. I think she set him up to go to prison. You might be right on that. Even though I kind of think if I had to bet on it, I'll say no. But you might be right on that. Lorenzo Tejada was pushing the left hand agenda. You know what, too? Lorenzo shows so much love for Diana that he do for Drew or Kane, but I could say Drew too. But he got him beat up after Zeke died. Yeah, he did that to cover his own ass though. Lorenzo favoritism towards Drew over Kane despite Kane being the oldest could point doubt about his paternity. He could. Another reason why I hated Tariq Kane couldn't win. No real gangster is gonna accept his son being gay and leave the family business to him, unless the dad is gay too. Therefore, won't won't discriminate. Hey, I actually gotta agree with you there, Takari. I think no real gangster is gonna actually be okay with that shit like that. Like the way he was just able to quickly accept it, like it was just not a thing. But this is just modern day agenda being pushed in TV. That's all this shit. Basically, Tommy was arrested a few times for manslaughter and bodies he was catching that could be one of the main reason of him saying he's dead in New York as well, because he's a menace. If they was gonna write Drew as gay, should have been given a few obstacles like trying to gain Lorenzo acceptance.
And my problem is when I
In Raising Kanan, it took time for Marvin to accept Jukebox for being gay. Remember in season one, he even choked out over it. Yeah, it took him a while, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Let's be real. It's different when you've got. I mean, you don't want it with your daughter either, but I think as a father, you'll be more acceptance to it with your daughter than you would your son. I'm just keeping it 100. I mean, you ain't gonna like it with either one, but just saying, because you're not gonna want to be as hard on her as you would your son. I think it was a move. I think it was movie by or Get It How I Live had Kane and homeboy Al, who was the one Tommy killed when trying to get Tasha, and Monet put that gun to Tommy's head.